what happened at the O'Hare Airport in Chicago tells us a lot about how we deal with UFO sightings across the board. Now, in 2006, there was a UFO sighting at the O'Hare Airport. It happened at about 4:15 during the afternoon, and basically people that were working there, people that were headed to flights, saw this object hovering over C-17.
Okay, I'm sorry. What can I do for you now?
All right. I told Dave there was a disc flying outside above Charlie 17, and he thought I was pretty much high. But I'm not high and I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
Someone actually has a picture of it, so if you guys see it out there.
A disc? Like a frisbee?
Like a UFO type thing.
Now, pilots start to see this, and now radio broadcasting through the workers is happening. It's like, hey, we got something over C-17. And this is a true thing, guys. This isn't like a made-up thing. Like, literally, workers are the ones that reported seeing this object over C-17.
Some of our employees, I don't know if you heard anything about this, some of our pilots on the ground were reporting a UFO sighting at 1,000 feet from the seaside of the airport.
This object is not coming on radar, so the people in the radar towers, they're not really like seeing anything. Like, what are these? What's everybody talking about? But it's happening and happening. Pilots, 2 pilots that were parked were like, yeah, we got something strange over C-17. Workers, C-17, we got an object up here. What's going on? Now people are starting to take pictures of it. So they call the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Association, and they say to them like, hey, like, what do we do? We have some UFOs that have been seen over one of our gates. We don't really know what to do. So they say, oh, we don't really handle that type of stuff. Your best thing to do right now is to just call the local law enforcement, and then we'll take it from there. And, again, these are the people that it's like they should have some interest, right? About like what's going on in the skies. Like, they are the aviation association, like that. This is like what they do, is they control the skies. And now when we see UFOs literally over one of the gates, they're like, whoa, hey, we don't do the UFOs, right? Like, we know about the UFOs, so we don't do the UFOs. Call your local sheriff, and so you can call them, and they'll be super confused on what you're trying to do, and they'll help you from there. So that's the scoop, guys, is that basically in 2006, there was a day where people working there, people that were just, trying to catch a flight, saw this object over C-17. And there's pictures till this day that are just completely unexplained. And again, it didn't start from, a story or anything that it started with the pilots on the ground, with the workers at the gate being like, there's something up there. We got to handle this. And I just find it very, very kind of obvious on the response from the FAA. They said, yeah, call your local sheriff. Again, like, it's probably just like weather, it's something to do with the weather. They said the clouds, blah, 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 They showed no interest in them. They wanted no part of it. And if you look all the way back to the UFOs over the White House in 1952, you're going to see that their answer was the same. We're going to blame it always on clouds and the weather. It's how to do it. We can't explain these UFOs. So the best way to do it is to blame the weather. It's just a shadow in the clouds. That's it, man. So again, if you look it up, go on Google, type in O'Hare 2006 UFO sighting, and you'll see, like, I find these Wikipedia things very interesting on how they deliver it, because a lot of the times it won't say like hoax or, there was like maybe. It's always like, this is what people saw and this was the response, because it's like recorded, forever. So let's say 100 years from now, people in the 100 years from now go back and they want to see like, what happened. It says what happened. It's not like, this is a fairy tale story. It's like, no, people saw an unknown object over gate C-17 at 4:15, and the FAA wanted no part of it because that's not what they do. When, like, that is probably, they should have some interest in that if this thing, like, you know what I mean? If they have a job, I mean, come on, one job is to protect the skies. You should have some freaking interest in doing your job. But again, if you know the truth, then you don't want any part of it. You're just like, call someone that we know, like, could be someone else to help you with this that has no answers, like your local sheriff. Like, what the heck's the sheriff going to do? Nothing, right? So, guys, next time you're at O'Hara Airport in Chicago, head over to C-17, take a look out the window, and maybe you'll see something.